Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. How is everybody tonight? Oh my goodness. Well, the clock seems to be speeding up. 46 days. Tomorrow will be 45. And so on and so on. And I put on my thumbnail. Well, let me get this microphone off. See if I sound better. Sounds that better? Uh, uh, Oprah hugging Kamala, and I put dumb fake. It's not a deep fake, it's a dumb fake. And oh gosh, I watched little bits of it. It's nauseating. Had Ben Stiller up there for of all things. Somebody was Citizen Free Press put up a little clip of Ben Stiller from a movie. I don't know which movie it was, but he runs into P. Diddy and he says, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Act all nervous, and P. Diddy's looking at him with his sunglasses, all tough and everything. And he's going, I didn't mean to disturb you. I hope everything's okay. Oh, by the way, next time you have one of those house parties, why don't you let me know? Yeah. Oh boy, and that ain't going to age very well, Ben Stiller. But you were sure enough there at the Kamala virtual rally. What a joke. See, and Oprah even was with, I mean, she was thinking to herself, what the hell did I just, what was it? Why did I do this? And there's a palpable feeling that even celebrities that fake it till they make it, like Oprah, they can't see this thing working out. Like Trump said, he had one of his posts. Are they going to replace Kamala? Things aren't looking good. I'll read that post to you. But we got so many things. I need to get that little sound machine where it goes and read off headlines, because we always got so much to cover. Things are somebody mentioned information overload. We don't want to get into information overload. We'll see the big picture, though. We'll see the big picture of a deep state that is collapsing under its own, the weight of its own illegality. That's what we were told, and that's what we're seeing. They got to keep up with a heck of a lot more than we have to. I can tell you that. But anyway, hi, Lone Wolf. How you doing? Gary. Ha ha. Nice to see you. Let's see. David. Which one's an imposter? Both of them, probably Oprah and Kamala. Sherry, how you doing? Debbie's here. Wanda. Kim. Ann. Yeah. The movie's coming to an end. Hi, Tracy, but I think it's going to be, there's going to be something big, and it's got to scare the living daylights out of these. Well, they say it's 48 that want Kamala. So you're going to tell me that 48% of Americans can't smell the stench of what's going on? It's less than that, but it's still a big enough number where they got to have a smack in the face psychologically to wake them the heck up. Hi, Kathy. Debbie. Hi, Wayne. Flannel cheese. Friday night memory lane, Tracy said. Well, I get some memories. I'll go down there if it fits with what's going on. I'll tell you that. So one of the things I got my thumbnail is, and I don't know what do you all think of the importance of this? And the people that watch my videos after the live stream, put in the comments what you think of this Georgia decision out of the blue, like a thunderbolt. Pow! What did they do? Verify hand counting paper. Okay. And boy, that's going to make it tough, because you remember last time they put them in dump trucks and shredders and got rid of them, mixed them up, stuffed them in warehouses, and did all this stuff. Now, are they going to have people to verify, to examine, one from each party. You know how that works. And that brings me back to what Merrick Garland was talking about. Are those people going to be protected like what he was saying in that speech? And I'll have to get a clip of that because I didn't get to finish up my my discussion I was having. And because I still maintain that the left needs some heroes. The left needs some heroes to verify. Hi, Angel. How you doing? Cola, how you doing? So, recounting the paper after the machines run it to verify that the machines are right. Now, is that a good thing? Well, everything has some good and bad, I suspect. Or is it something that will drag out the flipping results to 2 or 3 or 4 in the morning or days? I don't know. I don't know. Hi, Rubber Toe. How you doing? If we even have it, like Gary says, if we even have elections. Thank you for helping out last night, Gary, on buying me a coffee. I appreciate it. So, Gutfeld's program, we talked about it last night. Trump put out a post that it was the highest rated of any of Gutfeld's shows, the highest rated in the show's history. Go figure. So, hi, Gloria. Hi, Benjamin. So it's like, just like Mr. T said, Junior, if it wasn't for me, you never got on the map. Don't forget that either. So, so let's see what happens if they run people off or put pizza boxes over the windows, but I don't know. This election board. I had an article. It's in my phone somewhere, and I just didn't get to read the headline. That there was a record number. This was last week. This article came out. A record number of election officials have resigned all around the country, a record number. And the article was acting like, well, this could cause problems. No, I think it's people that said, whoa, I might have got away with one time, but I ain't going to stick my head in that beehive a second time and risk my freedom. Because Trump put out another truth today. Anyone involved in VOTER fraud, okay, will go to jail. Very simple capital letter statement. So a lot of people are like, I got to spend some time with the kids. I've been doing this for 30 years, and I don't want to do 30 years. You know what I'm saying, folks? So, I don't know. We shall see. We got an event coming. Sky event. Lone Wolf said, oh, there'll be some kind of event. Black Swan, Sky event. Well, I want to point out something that happened. Of course, this situation with the pagers and the walkie-talkies was one of the most effective surgical military ops I think anybody could ever reproduce or have ever seen, as a way that, yes, there were people that got hurt, but that's what happens when unlawful combatants or combatants with technical equipment that are designed to prosecute a war mingle themselves with innocent civilians in violation of the Geneva Conventions. That doesn't mean you let them run free for years, which what they've been doing. And yes, an ambassador from Syria to Lebanon, I believe it was his driver had a pager and was looking at the pager with him sitting next to it. Pow! And yeah, he was an ambassador. I thought he was a diplomat, but he lost his eyeball, they said. I don't know. I saw pictures of him walking out of the car with a big rag pressed up his head, and it didn't look pretty. Yeah, somebody got hurt. But anyway, we were speculating. Are they going to follow up with something while they got these people incommunicado for all intents and purposes, rattled psychologically, thousands of their operatives out of commission? Is this a time to strike? Hi, Sandy. How you doing? Angela, how you? So, yeah, they did strike, and they struck in southern Lebanon. And I put in my thumbnail about the U.S. Marine Corps. One for the team. I didn't put those exact words. I couldn't use words that would get me in trouble. I couldn't type in there retribution. I couldn't type in there vengeance, but I wanted to. Who knows what I'm talking about? Speaking of historical military events, something happened, and we've got a little bit of, what was that James Brown song? The Big Payback. We got some payback. Do you all know what I'm talking about? And you know what? Nobody really in the mainstream media is covering it, but I remember it. I remember my father going through the roof. That is when the event I'm talking about is when the terms started coming about to make that place a parking lot. That was way before the Iraq War. Turn that sand into a glass parking lot after they did what they did. And yeah, Kim, you heard the head guy of Hezbollah has been taken out, but there was a bunch of them taken out. And one in particular got that cold dish, revenge. Is a dish best served cold. And I heard that he was also injured from a pager or a handheld radio, and a bunch of them had gone into a building. I guess they got out of the hospital, got some basic treatment. They couldn't communicate, so they clustered in what they thought was a secure location, and the F-16s came in, and that was the end of that. 9 of them taken out. So who remembers a big military event that happened in 1983 that would bring about the saying, turn that place into a parking lot? So it was more than one event against the American people and against the United States Marine Corps. I guess a lot of you have seen the binder with the presidential seal and Joe Biden's name under it, and also imprinted below, impressed in gold letters under Joe's name, Jill's name. We'll get to that in a minute. I don't see anybody taking a chance on what the event was. Well, when they do mention something about how momentous it was that this individual got taken out 40 years too late, they put a reward up for him for $7 million. but I heard they didn't even put the reward up until earlier this year. I think like around May of this year. I could be off on the month. But I'll tell you his name right here. I'm looking at a picture of his ugly face. Ibrahim Aqil. Ibrahim Aqil, also known as Tassin, served on Hezbollah, highest military body, and was a principal member of the Islamic Jihad organization, which claimed the bombing of the U.S. Embassy in Beirut in April 1983 that unalived 63 people. This was an older Reuters report. Remember when the U.S. Embassy got bombed? Reagan was president. It was right after the release, 3 years after the release of the hostages in Iran from the American embassy. This guy was one of the masterminds. Hi, Vicky, how you doing? And he also masterminds of something else. It was the largest, I'll go ahead and tell everybody, the largest losses in one day the U.S. Marine Corps ever suffered. Tennessee, how you doing? It was 240 Marines were in a barracks in Lebanon. The bombing of the Marine barracks in Lebanon, 240 people, 240 servicemen in their bunks. And that's when Reagan pulled everybody out and said, these people out of their flipping minds, we have no strategic interest in this dung hole, everybody out. He's the guy who was behind it. And it took 40 years to get him. So maybe I'll keep a picture of him for future reference so we can make sure the devil identifies him and drags him into the pit. Well, I'm sure he's going in there anyway. Massive airstrikes destroy 100 Hezbollah rocket launchers. The Israeli military destroyed 100 Hezbollah rocket launchers in one of the most intense bombardments in the last year. Follow the latest updates. So, yeah, okay, I'll follow them. So not only did they take that creep out, not only did they take out thousands and thousands of operatives, they took out a lot of their offensive capabilities. Now they say they've got an open highway through Syria, to Syria through Syria and Iraq to Iran to resupply. We'll see how long that lasts if they try that stunt. Because Israel is taking the gloves off. If they want to do something, they better do it now. Biden administration is ineffectual. You got cackling Kamala is their backup. And hey, if you're gonna make some noise, make it now. Because when Trump gets in, they don't know what he's gonna do. But he wants the fighting to stop. So you might as well get your shots in. You know what I'm saying? Then they said, well, they went ahead and did the detonations of the pagers and stuff because they got intel that they were getting suspicious and we're going to start looking at the pagers. Now, who does that? Who starts talking? Hey, you think we ought to look at our pagers? I don't know. Ask Abdul. Oh, okay. I'll text him a question. Should we start looking at it? No, you pop it back off. You look at it yourself. No, I tell you what I think. I think the time was right. Timing, just like the other broadcasts I did, the last one, and optics. The timing was right. And so people don't think that a lot of this stuff is tied together. I think it is because of this being multiple governments, multiple militaries engaging in an international police operation, military police operation. Okay, it's been planned out for years. I'm just looking through the chats. Yeah, it's an interesting number, that's for 200 nations, gold-backed currency. Yes, that's exactly right. So here, let me read off some of these news things. Breaking: the House has unanimously voted to approve a bill that would require the Secret Service to apply equal standards of protection for major presidential candidates, sitting presidents. The move comes in the wake of 2 attempts on former President Trump. It now heads to the Senate, where its fate is uncertain. Well, did you see the reporter walking down Capitol Hill hallway talking to all these reprobate liberal House members, saying, don't you think you need to tone it down a little bit, talking about Trump being a threat to democracy? One of them was that chick. I said she looked like she'd been hit in the face with a flat shovel. I can't remember her name, but if you look at her, you know what I'm talking about. We've got bug eyes and a flat face. And all of them said, he is. We got to tell it like it is. He is a threat to democracy. Yeah. So, anyway, polls coming out that Virginia, and I talked about that a week ago. I said, Trump's going to win Virginia. Just a feeling I had. Glenn Youngkin up by 15 points. Approval rating, Republican governor. He's made his executive orders, okay, to keep the voter rolls clean. In Virginia used to have the cleanest voter rolls. They used to run it like clockwork. It was red, 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 red. Till when? Till the Obama revolution, okay? That's when things changed. Trump lost Virginia, I think, by around 2 points or less than 2 points in 2016. And then by some flippin' miracle, everybody was so hopped up and entranced by Joe Biden, his presence, his oratory skills, his energy, that they went up to 10% in 2020. Isn't that something? He's just a force of nature. Hi, Ravens. How you doing? So anyway, the poll that is liberally biased and also basing their weighting on last election, which is skewed by all the dirty pieces of paper, still has Trump within 3 points, within the margin of error, which I think he's in a clean election, he'd win by 10. So that's right in my prediction. Governor Abbott declares Texas a sanctuary state for memers. We can meme now because of Governor Abbott. We can meme because you got what's his face there in California telling you can't have deep fakes. I don't know. That sword can cut both ways because the verbiage of that bill by Gruesome Newsom is if you alter or intentionally change things that will have an effect on national elections. Could that be tied into the bleaching the arm, fine people on both sides? Well, wait a minute. Russia. All those things. Yeah, I think it could be. That's right, Ann. Virginia for Trump. Nut scum. Ha 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 ha. So we'll have to see. Then now P. Diddy, they put him on you-know-what aside watch. But I think it's for his own protection. He may need it. I don't know, man. You talk about a shock. You talk about a shock living the life of Riley. And all of a sudden, man, now you gotta wear flip-flops, and that nightstick goes across the bars in the morning. Crack, 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 crack. Get up. Time to get up. If you want to eat, get up. So we'll see. Anyway, Georgia State Election Board passes by a 3-2 resolution. Hand count at precinct levels to ensure the totals match with the machines. This is by Liz Harrington. This is a huge win and was opposed by the fake news, the left, and Ratzenberger. Let me tell you something. It is my fervent hope that any attempts to intimidate, bribe, extort, anything, those members into voting the wrong way is documented. That's my fervent hope. And the two that voted against it, I hope if it was because of what I just mentioned, that they're given protection to be able to also verify. Because, they're not going to, these creeps are not going to leave people like that alone. Remember 2016, they tried to get the electors to be faithless electors. Just change your mind after the vote. Be a faithless elector. They even had stars doing commercials. Do you think people might have got threatened? I think they did. That's why Diddy's in jail right now. Because they don't want him out there doing that. Yeah, he's a flight risk. But now, with the world the way it is now, I got no idea where he would go. Speaking of which, Elon, Joe came out today and flat out said they're going after Elon. In case he had any foreign blah, blah in his purchase of Twitter, hey, what's he do? He comments on some tweets. He puts up his own opinion once in a while. Other than that, he's working on getting SpaceX ready to go rescue the astronauts that Boeing can't bring back. Okay? And a myriad of other things. He's a busy person. The only thing he's done with X is allowed conservatives to talk relatively unfettered. And I also think he got a big database together about the P3DOs, okay? And other criminal activity. Like you said, I bought a crime scene. They never thought they'd lose that. Hi, Sissy. No, Diddler, yeah. So let me see. I got to jump out of the studio. This is resolution 181-1-12 .2. That's the Georgia State Election Board. Passes by a 3-2 margin. Boy, that's close. But, they're going to use their time. They got 45 days tomorrow to sit there and dream up how they can, cheat at cards, have an ace up their sleeve or some kind of way. So we've got 45 days to counteract, to make sure we have observers. And according to Merrick Garland, they have to be protected and respected. Yeah, here's that article. MSNBC put this one up, of all people. Israeli official says entire senior command of Hezbollah eliminated. Boy, that's great. That's great, especially that one with the Marine barracks. I mean, that's stuck in America's craw. You know, you'd figure, those things would have reflected bad on Reagan, but they didn't. You know, because he told the people exactly what was going on. These people are, he didn't use the term savages, but he everything but, and he said, we don't have any interest over there. We got to get the heck out. And just like he did with Muammar Gaddafi, remember that? He referred to him as the mad dog of the Middle East, and after he used that terminology, everything stopped. Well, he sent a missile through his bedroom window. So we've had that ability for a long time. You know, did you notice with this, what was it, a town hall with Oprah? What do they call that? A tele-rally? But did you notice, just like Jean Pierre the other day before yesterday, Oprah was in a orange outfit. I mean, orange. The scarf, the shirt, the blouse, the jacket, the slacks, everything. Completely orange. You look at Jean Claude Pierre, whatever her name is. She was up there, and I meant to mention that the other day. It was day before yesterday, I'm pretty sure. When Steve Ducey was, he's always busting on her, but he was really busting on her. She was wearing complete orange. I'm just saying, it's not your typical color. Odd when you see every bit of it that she's wearing. Kamala gets called out by Oprah Winfrey for dodging question at Michigan campaign event. Offers no proposals. It was the corniest crap. I couldn't even watch it once. Oprah claimed they had 400 people in the studio. I doubt that. And thousands on Zoom. I doubt that too. They had their stars and a bunch of dopey loners. But can you imagine sitting there through that bunch of hyperbole and crap and regurgitated commie hokey pokey? I couldn't even do it once. I didn't want to take clips to make fun of her. Enough people doing that, and it made them sick. I heard they were all sick. Biden promises next Trump assassin will be a woman of color. That is from the Babylon Bee. I got to save those and post them on True Social. But anyway, Tim Walz, he had a video. He put a campaign video up of him working on a truck. The carburetor. These are the most basic things of a truck. And you get a handbook that tells you how to do everything you need to do. When he said it had a carburetor, I thought he was going to show people, how to fix a typical issue with a carburetor. But I guarantee you he doesn't know a butterfly from a choke. But he said the filter, when you see a clean filter, somebody knows they're doing good maintenance. Yeah, either that or somebody don't never go nowhere or do any work with their truck. I couldn't tell what it was. He just had his head underneath the hood and looked like an old Scout more than a truck. Looked like a Scout or a no, I wouldn't say a GMC. It looked like a Scout, International Scout. It might not have been. I don't know. But anyway, If anybody sees that commercial and knows, I only watch it once real quick. So anyway, he's getting ready for his debate with J.D. Vance. October 1st, vice presidential debate with J.D. Vance is well underway. This is from Always Be Commie News. Sources familiar with the process has confirmed to ABC News. He's already held some mock debates, sources said. Oh, is he practicing putting his hand under his chin and staring like a, well, I don't want to use that word, be a beach, life's a beach, putting his hand on his hip and kicking his hip out to one side and looking at J.D. Vance? Is that what he's practicing? Like Kamala was doing? I don't know. Oh, I was going to sing that song. Kamala's got a gun. Who sang that song? The whole world's come undone. Kamala's got a gun. But anyway, he's already held some mock debates, sources said, with the Transportation Secretary, Pete Buddy Butt Gig, who is acting as Vance stand-in. Tim Walsh's debate preparation is underway with Pete Buttigieg as J.D. Vance stand-in. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, put up that little pansy. He's supposed to be J.D. Vance. Come on. Get out of here. Why don't you put Pee Wee Herman up if you're going to debate John Wayne? Practice with Pee Wee Herman. Aerosmith. Okay, that's right. Kamala got a gun. And Oprah's, I didn't know that. Yeah, somebody comes to my house, they're going to get shot. Hey. And the shit, why I shouldn't have said that. Yeah. All bunch of double talk crap. And, you know, her so-called fans, they had a guy come up, he's a white guy for Harris. That's what they said on the screen. He's standing there. He had a white shirt with yellow rockets on it, and he had his hair up in a man bun, you know, not very well groomed, just like piled up on top of his head like a ball of yarn Sadie got a hold of. And, you know, puking out the same stuff. We don't want to go back. We have to turn the page. It's the same zombie talk that she pukes out. But with her saying she's got owns a gun, with her saying that she likes the border wall, with her saying she's always going to stand by Israel, on and on. These are all, they have to know for them to be sticking with her that she's lying. Or they go to Jill Stein. Shows you how unprincipled they are. Because those are all things they can't stand. They can't stand the Second Amendment. They can't stand the border wall. Don't forget tomorrow, Newsmax says Trump Saturday. Don't miss President Trump's big rally in North Carolina. Watch live coverage. 1 p.m. is when they're going to start. I don't know when Trump's going to speak. Could be 3. I don't know. But keep it on your radar. Breaking news. House of Representatives votes to block funding for sanctuary cities and states. In states. Sanctuary cities. Why didn't they do that years ago? Why didn't they do it last year? They're all timing this stuff for the election. That's why. It passed. And they get to put up there, what did they put up? Nay, Democrats. 140. Let's see. The House of Representatives passed House Resolution 5717, the No Bailout for Sanctuary Cities Act, which would make any state or city ineligible for federal funds the jurisdiction intends to use to benefit non-U.S. nationals. Okay, does that got to go in front of the House? I mean, the Senate, where its fate is uncertain? I believe so. Yeah, hit the thumbs up, Raven says. I think it still has to get approved by the Senate. And we'll get their names out there. Who wants to keep throwing your money away? And, you know, they had a couple of things out about when Trump was talking to the Jewish conference. He said what he's always been saying for the last half a year, that he's been a good friend of Israel, and he doesn't get it. Why somebody, if they were Jewish or pro-Israel, why they would vote against them? It makes no sense. They have to have their heads examined. That's what he's been saying and saying and saying. Instead of the media in their headlines saying Trump chides Jewish Americans, or Trump questions Jewish Americans, or he alerts Jewish Americans. No, they say, let me see who it is. CBS News. Trump slams Jewish Americans against him, makes Israel warnings. No, he's got to slam them. That's like what did with Mark Robinson, saying he was on an adult site. Well, they're not saying it now. They said at the very beginning, remember? They said at the very beginning. Now they're not claiming that. They're not claiming that. And they were calling for his resignation. Now, he was saying things. If I come across his quotes, I will say them or spell them. And I think the reason Trump was friendly with him, but brief, was because he knew this was coming, and he was saying things you just shouldn't say. But it wasn't the end of the world. So he's refusing to step down. And I also saw a video where he is considering suing the news organizations that put out the initial reports, which I think were sensational and inaccurate right before the election. So we'll see about that, because we had Robert Kavoy had a good interview today with the attorneys for the FBI whistleblowers, and they're suing what is that guy's name? Abbe Lowell. He's been around forever. Abbe Lowell. He's a liberal lawyer. They're suing him for $20 million. We have to do a list of all the. Hey, lawfare is another sword that cuts both ways. And if you lose, hey, you lose. Now, I didn't know this. Last week, the Israeli Defense Force, IDF, showed a letter that was written by one of their leaders back in May, I think, and he said, we've lost about 50% of our fighters. We're in trouble. He had a copy of the letter. They found it in a tunnel. The same tunnel where they unalived those 12 hostages by putting one in the back of their heads. That's why these pager things, one of the many reasons. So he also said they lost 90 to 95% of their rocket capabilities, and we've lost 60% of our personal weapons. Then the same guy that wrote this letter got taken out back in June. So if you take that and couple it with what just happened with the radios and pagers, at least in Gaza, they are in bad shape. And the word was put out months ago that they weren't going to stop until all the leadership were gone. I'm laughing because I saw another speech Harris was given, and it was on 11 Alive. And she had like 12 views. It was only up for about 20 minutes, but it only had like 12 views. And the title of the video was referring to another one of their dopey talking points, Project 2025. No, 72 views. That's right. 11 Live. I confused 11 Live with number 12. So anyway, 72 views. I mean, even my little peanut channel does way better than that. Yeah, CNN. That's who Lieutenant Governor Robinson is thinking about suing. CNN over their initial report. So that'll be another big handful, especially if he wins. And I think he's going to win. It's going to damage him, but he comes out swinging, which is the way he normally operates. I didn't know about this, but Jack Posobiec, early, about 2 hours before I went live, he put this up. I don't know if you all heard about it or not, about a Trump Doylestown event. White House officials tells me the Trump Doylestown event was pulled due to Secret Service concerns over the event at the shrine in the wake of 2 assassination attempts. I hadn't heard about a Doylestown event. Have you all? At a shrine? Melvita, I've got no idea. I don't work with any other channels or put up other channel information unless they're guests on my show or something. I don't even know who Hawk is. I might have talked about him in the past, but I don't know. Anniversary coming up 1 year, something. Oh, well, every day is an anniversary of something. Like yesterday was the year anniversary of P. Diddy getting the key to New York City. Where'd my chats go? Wait a second. There they are. They disappeared for a second. And then Trump put up underneath Jack's, I guess it's just how my feed was running. How bad is it when a candidate running for office makes a major part of her campaign that she works at McDonald's and it turns out not to be true? But the worst part is the media refuses to talk about it. Not one word. There's just a bald-faced lie. A bald-faced lie. And I almost use this picture for my thumbnail. I might use it in the future. I'm not sure where this picture is. Dan Scavino put it up today without any comment, and it looks like an explosion behind a power line. And the smoke is rising up from a pretty big explosion, and you see the sun piercing through the smoke at the top of the explosion. Did you all see that? maybe he was talking about, he was showing where U.S. Marines got their payback given for them to this creep. Fox News Channel's Gutfeld landed its largest audience in the program's history. Some of you all might not have been in when I was talking about that earlier. When former President Trump made a guest appearance, that was something else Scavino put up. And I had another picture I was thinking about my thumbnail, put up dope fake instead of dumb fake. I got a picture of Joe Biden sitting at the head of the conference table in today's cabinet meeting, the presidential cabinet meeting. And that's after that's when the pictures came out with the presidential seal on the binder with both Joe's name in gold and Jill's name underneath. First time anybody seen a first lady's name. Well, it was the first cabinet meeting of the entire year. Why is that? I'll tell you why. Because the cabinet is the one that decides to kick in the 25th Amendment. Oh, now it's coming to me. Joe just was looking down and reading and looked up a little bit here and there, introducing Jill. And Jill did everything for the cabinet meeting talking about women's reproductive health. And that was the end of it. But the cabinet's responsible for doing a vote on whether or not to enact the 25th Amendment. So they probably did it this way and included Jill's name on there to protect cabinet members. Like, why didn't you all do something about Joe not knowing who or where he was? Well, we never all got together except one time, and Jill did all the talking. How are we supposed to know? And I think he threatened Elon before. What in the world's Elon going to do? Can't be safe in your own country. But anyway, Citizen Free Press said, well, I guess Joe Biden is now the commander-in-chief. I don't recall anybody voting for her. It's not like the Dems care anyway. Nobody voted for Kamala either. Yeah, we're in a proxy war with Russia. We got the borders being inundated. And Joe Biden running cabinet meetings. And Kamala Harris can't even do a convincing conversation with Oprah Winfrey. You could see it on Oprah's face. It was like disappointment. It was, I think there's talk going around on the inside because Trump said something about that. Are they going to switch her out? Here we go. Wow, just my out. Now, this is about the Iran thing. When he said the Iran situation where they were given hacked materials, the news media is acting like they approached them with hacked materials, not saying they gave it to them. What does that mean, approached? It means they gave it to them. They took it. Trump says in all caps, wow, just out. The FBI caught Iran spying on my campaign and giving all the information to the Kamala Harris campaign. Therefore, she and her campaign were illegally spying on me. To be known as the Iran case. Will Kamala resign in disgrace from politics? Will the communist left pick a new candidate to replace her? Question mark. You can't disgrace these people. It's like I might took a screenshot of it, might not have, but I'll go from memory. Let me see if I did. Kamala made a big statement about unaliving kids. Oh, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni. From now on, if you enter Italy illegally, you would be immediately deported. I don't know if that's what she sounds like or not, but that's what she said. I saw the video. You come into Italy illegally, you'll be immediately deported. Now, why can't they do that here? Because they don't want to. They need all the votes they can get. That's why. Tree and then sun. Ben Stiller. Yeah, that's a movie clip where he says, got his tongue sticking out and says, by the way, Diddy, next time you have one of those house parties, invite me. That's supposed to be funny part of a movie. We'll see how funny it is. Here's something. Here's a news report. I don't know how many of you heard this. Citizen Free Press again. New York Magazine has placed star reporter Olivia Nuzzi on leave for having an affair with, drumroll, if you know it, say it in the comments. She had an affair with a certain person, and they put her on leave. Bobby Kennedy. So, yeah, he's Bobby's wife's liable to jerk a knot in his head that won't roll off when he gets home. Or they probably already knew about it. Rasmussen polls had Trump up nationally in the popular vote. This is not betting odds. This is the actual national vote. Rasmussen, very respected and accurate. 8%. Up 8%. And that includes the weight, as in weights and measures, weighting the poll to have it match last election's outcome, which the numbers, as we know, were fraudulent, made Joe stronger or the Democrats stronger, and he's still up by 8. So anyway, Kamala was having her speech in an Atlanta rally. Did you all hear about her Atlanta rally? Now, her North Carolina rally, they bussed in everybody from Atlanta, and it was still a sad sack event. Before the North Carolina rally, she was in Atlanta again, I think with Tim Walz, and it was a sad sack event compared to a Trump rally. Well, she was in Atlanta today, and nobody heard anything about it. But ABC News put this quote up. Vice President Kamala Harris spoke about the dangerous consequences of what she called, quote, Trump's abortion bans, which she said were unleashed after his hand-selected Supreme Court justices overturned Roe v. Wade. She was in front of an energized crowd. And ABC News puts this big, long quote out. An untold number of people suffering, women who are also being made to feel as if they did something wrong. The judgment factor here is outrageous, being made to feel as though they are criminals, as though they are alone. So to those women, I say, we see you, and you are not alone, and we are all here, standing with you. You are not alone. Well, they couldn't have been too alone if they got impregnated. But I put in the comments, did she hand out bottles of baby oil and hot sauce? They probably took that down. But no, you're not doing anything wrong. Just put your kid in a dumpster out behind Planned Parenthood. Yeah, this is Biden. Biden announces investigation against Elon Musk. Oh, boy. Now, they wouldn't go through everything they did with Trump. If they impaneled a grand jury, a secret grand jury, I'm not being crazy. You know, they did it against Trump. They let that grand jury leak, which is against the law. The lady in the orange dress, the clerk of the court, remember, she registered the indictments before the grand jury was finished, which is against the law. Not on her part, whoever told her to do it. A whistleblower with direct knowledge of Secret Service protection for former President Donald Trump. Golf course in West Palm Beach. An individual, this is from Josh Hawley, a letter. An individual who has, in fact, protected President Trump at every location, alleges there are, quote, known vulnerabilities in the fence line surrounding the course. Places that offer a clear line of sight to the former president and others playing on the golf course. Yeah, well, we knew that. As a result, the whistleblower alleges it has been Secret Service protocol to, quote, post up agents at these vulnerable spots when Trump visits the course. That apparently did not happen on September 15th. Instead, the gunman was permitted to remain along or near the fence line for some 12 hours. We need accountability for why that happened. Hi, Ron. That's right, Debbie. Oprah in an orange suit. And so was Jean Pierre. And so was that clerk lady. And so was, who was that lady that I played her videos where she was talking about Trump's strategies? Oh, I still got those videos. She was wearing orange also. Gosh, her name's on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, Oprah was. You know, all these strings coming together with P. Diddy, John of God, Oprah, Epstein, Weinstein, all these actors, Ben Stiller. Did you see, what's his name, the guy that played in Talladega Nights? Will Ferrell. Did you all see the news on him? Did you hear about the person he's, I guess, married to? Trump put out another tweet, says, Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners. I mean, people got to be a little bit rational. I never knew this about Will Ferrell. I knew he was no good. I knew he went to those dinners where they had a cake decorated life-size like a human body laying on the table, necky, okay? And you could cut off whatever part you wanted and showing him right there at the table. You all saw those pictures. Well, what's her name? Maria Abramovich. Spirit cooking parties. But he's married to a guy that's actual Rani put out some kind of a post where Will Ferrell was saying that he apologized for the roles he played where he dressed like a woman for comedy purposes. He shouldn't have done that. It was insensitive. And his partner standing right next to him looked like Caitlyn Jenner that had been through a car wash. I didn't know that he was whatever. But anyway, let me see what we got here. Trump's going to meet with Zelensky, even though he said it was going to be a waste of time. He changed his mind. Said he was going to meet with Zelensky. Dinesh D'Souza is putting out a film called Vindicating Trump. Vindicating Trump. And there's a #1 song on all the charts about Donald Trump. Have you seen it? It's Freedom? What is it? What is the name of the song? Fighter. I watched the video. It's nice. But anyway, the movie Vindicating Trump opens in theaters nationwide. This is a truth from Dinesh D'Souza. Friday, September 27th. See it with family and friends on opening weekend. It'd be nice if he had a real good showing of that. And Dan Scavino put out a post of a whistleblower from Border Patrol. And he put up, what the WTF, it never ends. What happens to America when all these inevitable cells get activated? And we talked about it. We've done the math. You know, if you have 1% of a population that's dangerous out of 20 million people, if you even have 0.5% or 0.2%. But this guy says, just incredibly damning testimony in every way. A recently retired Border Patrol chief says that the Kamala Biden administration ordered him to cover up the increase in suspected terrorists arrested at the southern border. Yeah, how many gotaways? And BBC News, I have heard from some of my folks in UK, and I hope you all doing well, and I hope they don't block me from seeing you all. But BBC News reported unfortunate news. Jacob Evans with BBC News and Jessica URE, BBC News. RAP, okay, and then E, reported every hour in London. There's assaults like that reported every hour in London. The city of London, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe there's still 24 hours in a day. Am I right? Charities say that the true extent of S3 actual offending will be much higher, as not everyone reports these crimes. So to all these do-gooders, what do you think? People who were born and raised in UK, they just started going crazy? That's why it's happening every hour in a city? Yeah, I see what you're saying. Time to start doing something first and ask questions later. Speaking of that, there's a report, and I saw the dash cam video. They censored it on YouTube, but you can see it. Dash cam video released a female Arkansas police officer, state police, grappling with an illegal immigrant from Guatemala. This is Citizens Free Press put it on Truth Social. And she's lucky she got the upper hand, I'll tell you that. After the taser had failed, the trooper was forced to use her service weapon, grazing the suspect's head. The trooper had pulled over the driver after clocking him at 114 miles an hour. During the stop, the inebriated motorist, oh boy, became belligerent and began fighting the officer. A passing motorist, Kylie Sutton, saw the fight and stopped to help the officer. So they have video of that exact, well, you can see it on Truth on Citizens Free Press, and it's uncensored, but the one on UTIZL is censored, where you don't see anybody getting hit. But you can imagine. He didn't get hit, he got great. He stopped fighting out, but somehow she was standing and he was down on the ground. She was, I don't know how she got in that position, but if it'd been the other way around, her life would have been over. We've seen plenty of full-grown male officers get caught unawares or tripped up and end up on the ground, and they lose their lives. Oh my goodness. Representative Nancy Mace enters text messages into the record on the House floor of a CNN commentator hitting on her after calling her racist during a live CNN segment. CNN commentator Michael Dyson allegedly begged Mace for photos. And I watched that little clip, and he sent her a text, saying, well, "Don't tell anybody, but we look good together. Send me some pictures." And he had like a face with a heart eyeballs or little heart emojis. He was flirting with her. She put it in the record of the House of Representatives. I hope he's got a wife too. Bobby won't be the only one to knot on his head tonight. 158 House Democrats vote against a bill that would deport illegal alien RA and then PISTs and P3DO files. But House passed a bill to deport migrants convicted of S3X crimes. But again, all these things have to go before the Senate, and we got no idea what they're going to do. Chuck Schumer's in control. Now, Seattle, which hadn't elected a Republican to power in 55 years, their school board, I guess the overarching school board, forced to close up to 21 schools due to a $104 million shortfall. So less schools for the kids. Education is what we throw more money at than anything and get the least results. Did you hear what that grocery clerk, let me see if I can find it. I don't want to say numbers that are too high. A grocery clerk in Springfield, Ohio, saw the balances on EBT and cash payments for migrants. But while I'm going through these articles, I'll see if I can find it. Texas installs razor wire on its border with New Mexico. They put up razor wire between two states. Why? Why? Illegals are entering Texas through New Mexico. They're not protecting their borders. So they're just running over the border to Texas. Not anymore. This is another freedom, Citizens Free Press. Early voting has commenced in Virginia. Trumpers swarm the polls. No enthusiasm for AstroTurf Kamala. And he's got a video where they're all out there. Big flags, big signs, little shade tents and tables, handing out stuff for Trump all the way down the road. Oh, I guess you all saw that one journalist. She spent all day, where was it, Nevada? She went to I don't know how many different restaurants, and she only found one Kamala supporter. One. I think she went to like 3 or 4 different restaurants. I'm trying to see if I can find that receipt where that girl was talking about what happened. Oh, something called Democracy Now! Posts on YouTube. And dig this. Here's their new approach. Of course, they show orange sky with smokestacks, Earth on pace to exceed 3 degrees of warming by end of the century. The World Meteorological Organization warns that the globe is on track to exceed heating of 3 degrees Celsius by the end of the century. That's more than double the 1.5 degree threshold. Climate scientists have said the world cannot exceed without a widespread climate catastrophe. So now they're putting it to the end of the century. When Al Gore, Greta Doomsburg, all the usual creeps always, AOC, 10 years, 12 years, 10 years, for the last 30 years. Now we got to the end of the century. So anyway, I put some kind of comment down there. I think I put in there, sounds like a bunch of communist gobbledygook to me. And I got a thumbs up. And here's a meme. A Jesse Smollett picture. Jesse Smollett. Oh, where'd my chats go? There we are. Jesse Smollett, it says, they poured baby oil on me and yelled, "This is Diddy country." He's another one that's get tied up in that. Oh, here's one Elon Musk posted. This must have been right before Joe said he was going to investigate Elon. Says, he reposted George Behezy tweets. Breaking, Oklahoma officials just announced that they have removed 450,000 ineligible names from the voter rolls, including 100,000 DEAD people and 50,000 duplicate registrations that somehow got pushed into the system. Oklahoma ensures only eligible voters participate, quoted an official. 450 in Oklahoma, 1 million purged in Texas, and all the other. Oh, Jennifer Lopez endorses Harris. Julia Roberts, Meryl Streep. That was during that stupid Some kind of dopey event. Here it is. Grocery store representative. And she put it on video. Grocery store rep from Springfield, Ohio, describes seeing illegal immigrant receipts with $13,000 on EBT food and $29,000 on EBT cash. This is insane. And so she said, I'm guessing everyone will see this, will continue to pay taxes because you live in fear. That's, for an average American, that's life-changing. I can't believe it's that much. $13,000 on EBT food and $29,000 cash. Well, that's a sad state of affairs we're all living in, folks. Hi, Jetlag. How you doing? Yep, that's unbelievable. I was watching JLR Investigates, and he was talking to these two women, and they were wearing orange shirts. I might get a clip of that, because this one was standing there saying, well, the problem is that the Republicans are trying to politicize this thing, when the real problem, I guarantee you, neither one of them work. I guarantee you, they're both either state workers or on disability or something like that. Probably have never produced anything in their life productive or to give to society. It looked like a mother-daughter team. And she was saying the problem was they didn't prepare the community with enough services. To put it in a nutshell, what she was saying, they didn't provide enough housing, driving training, and people were at a town hall yesterday and today and blowing the roof off, talking about how Trump was right, what they're doing. These liberal idiots don't want to understand a simple fact. These people come from an impoverished country. They sacrifice animals as part of their entrenched religion. I'm just saying facts. And yes, they do eat cats and dogs. It's part of their culture. And there are plenty of people that are residents right there sitting in front of their homes saying, we used to have all kinds of cats running around. Now you can't find one. And people that still have their cats are keeping them in the house because they disappear. And Stephen Miller put out a tweet that said, here's an idea. Don't fly millions of illegal aliens from failed states thousands of miles away into small towns across the American heartland. Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, people talking about their kids getting spooked and chased by people with machetes, and all the news reports. I put them up on my videos where they were running the streets with those things, Ma and then Chetty, right, battling in the streets with them. And they do it in Los Angeles. They do it all over. You can look on. Well, they might probably taken a lot of it down, but you can see people having fights with those things. So anyway, I don't know if Trump's setting the table by talking about the Iran thing being big stuff, and that Kamala should resign. He's dropped plenty of hints about criminality. As a matter of fact, calling on the Justice Department to do something about it. But we're going to have to go through the date of November 5th, regardless of what happens. Early voting is starting in many states. What did I read a report on Virginia? It showed that video with all the people in Virginia. So I guess that started, I didn't know they started that early. 40-some days, 45 days before. And so I don't know, check in your state, go down in person. I don't know. Do you trust that? I mean, if you're physically there and sign your name just like you did all your life when you were in high school, you know something, it'd be harder for them to change. So anyway, I don't know. Now, I told y'all just real quick about this country, Georgia, in the Eastern Bloc of Europe. Eastern Europe. They passed the law that said any foreign money coming into any groups, not nonprofit groups, media groups, it's all got to be reported. Remember that? And the U.S. put sanctions on them for passing that law. Then they passed another law that you can't have alphabet community people in schools. And they passed something else. U.S. sanctions Georgia ahead of elections constitute election interference. Interference in the electoral process. Georgia's ruling party put out a statement. The U.S. is great. They are pushing Georgia into our arms with their own hands. It's so sweet of them. That is a Russian news service saying that. Because they barred the alphabet crowd from schools, and they had said that foreign nonprofits or any influence that hands money over, it's got to be disclosed. And we put sanctions on them. They're just protecting their kids. Ann says she's going to vote the day of. Ravens is going to vote 10-1 the first day for early voting. Okay. Well, ain't nobody here going to change their mind. So if you know your registrar, you know, you live in a small county, you have a voter registrar. They are elected in a lot of counties. You elect that person. And if you think that they're running a ship-shape office, I remember I went down to vote one time, and man, the place was packed. And I forgot my driver's license, and I was like, man. And a lady came out from back, and she said, "Oh, Mrs. I couldn't remember her name." She said she knows you, she recognizes you. I was kind of like a local, you know, everybody knew me, and I didn't know everybody, but a lot of people knew me. I just got one of those faces, you know. And I'd go into a local store, remember Kmart's and stuff like that. And I had people say, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "Hey, how you?" I had no idea who they were. But we've got a good local registrar or in that area at the time. You should know who your registrar is, because you have the ability to elect them or not vote for them if they're doing a bad job. You can go on the interwebs and look at the staff members. If you see a rotten egg in the staff members, or if you see somebody working for the registrar office with purple hair and an earring stuck in their nose, you might want to get your antennas up. All politics is local. All right, Debbie's going to make them work harder. Benjamin, too. You go right across the street. That's good. All right. All right, folks. Well, I appreciate you all spending your precious time with me once again. And I will probably be going live Sunday night. If you are subscribed, you hit the notification bell, you'll know when I go live, because maybe I'll go live Monday. I don't know. I was feeling kind of rough yesterday, but I still did a live, even though I was feeling not real good. But I'm on the rebound, but you never know with this stuff. So Debbie said I had to walk the last 2 times. Your walker wasn't allowed with an Uber. I'll be darned. I thought they had to do it. Well, some of them don't have room. Can you fold it up? All right, folks. All right. Get geared up. Take a friend. Make sure people don't forget. Protect children. You tell your friends. They say, I don't like Trump, but I think I'm not crazy about Kamala. Well, are you crazy about kids? Okay. Do you want them, first of all, to be born in the first place? And when they are born, they're happy that they have teachers that value who they are and how they were born, and don't try to talk to them about inappropriate things and make them change their body and live a life of hell after decisions have been made that they can't reverse. Because if you stand up for the children, that's going to be a mark in your column when the time comes. If you turn your back on the children, don't think it'll go unnoticed. So anyway, folks, again, thank you for spending your precious time with me. I will be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.